All right, so you've probably heard the term Linux file system thrown around a lot, right? Maybe you've even seen that mysterious looking directory structure with names like /etc, /bin, and /home, and thought, what on earth is going on here? Today, we're diving into the world of the Linux file system, what it is, how it works, and why it's designed the way it is. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's demystify the Linux file system together. So let's start at the very beginning, literally, with the root directory. In Linux, the root directory, represented by a /, is the starting point for everything. It's the foundation of the entire file system, and every single file or folder on your Linux system lives somewhere within this hierarchy. Think of it as the trunk of a massive tree. From the root directory, all other directories branch out, /home for personal files, /etc for configuration settings, /bin for essential programs, and so on. No matter how deep you go into the system, everything eventually traces back to the root directory. Let's start with /home. This is where all the user directories are stored. Every user on the system has their own space here to store files, downloads, and personal settings. It's basically your home base in Linux. Next, we've got /etc. This is where all your system's configuration files live. If you ever need to modify how your system behaves, like network settings or which services run on startup, this is where you go. Think of it as the control panel for Linux, but in text file form. Now onto /opt. This one's for optional software, applications, and packages that aren't part of the system by default. If you install third-party programs, they'll often end up here. Then there's /boot. This folder is crucial. It contains all the files needed to boot up your system, like the kernel and bootloader. Messing with /boot is risky business, so handle it with care. Moving on, we have /bin. This is home to the essential system commands that are available to all users. Commands like ls, cp, and rm live here. And without /bin, your Linux system wouldn't be able to function. Next, there's /mnet. This is a temporary mounting point for external drives or file systems. For example, if you're manually mounting a USB drive or a remote server, it's common to use /mnet for that. Right next to it is /tmp. As the name suggests, this is for temporary files. Anything stored here is usually deleted when you reboot your system. It's like a scratch pad for programs and processes that need a quick space to work. Then we have /usr. Despite the name, this isn't about personal user data. That's /home. Instead, /usr contains system utilities, libraries, and additional software for the system. Think of it as the location for user-installed applications and tools. Don't confuse /root with the root directory itself. /root is the home directory for the root user, the system administrator. It's a highly privileged space where the super user can manage the system. Next is /lib, short for libraries. These are like the DNA of Linux, shared code and libraries that essential programs depend on to work. Without /lib, many of the commands in /bin would be useless. Then there's /sbin, which is similar to /bin, but it holds commands reserved for the root user or system administrators. These are more advanced tools used for managing and maintaining the system. Moving along, we've got /var. This is where files that are constantly changing, like logs, databases, or caches, are stored. If you're troubleshooting or monitoring your system, you'll be visiting /var often. Finally, there's /media. This is used for mounting external media like USB drives, CDs, or DVDs. Whenever you plug in a removable device, you'll likely find it accessible under /media. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more Linux tips, tricks, and deep dives. Got questions, or is there something specific you'd like me to cover in a future video? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.